Who doesn't love chips? Whether it be for a snack, with dip, or as nachos. But have you ever wondered who invented the tasty little crispy bites? In this video, let's shine light on 3 Black inventions that we use every day. The potato chip was invented in 1853 by 2 Black chefs working at a local restaurant called Moon's Lake House in Saratoga Springs, New York. There are actually 2 stories to the creation of the potato chip, which we can credit to the 2 chefs, George Crumb and his sister Kate Wicks, who worked alongside each other at the local town restaurant. Now, the first story goes it was during rush hour and George was serving fried potatoes to an upset customer who was unhappy with some thickly cut potatoes he was served and demanded Crumb to cut them even thinner. In a way to get back at the rude customer, Crumb cut the potatoes into slices so thin that they couldn't be picked up with a fork, deep fried them to a crisp, and covered them with heavy salt. Crumb was hoping to annoy the rude customer, but by his surprise, the customer loved them. And voila, potato chips were invented. As we know, there's 2 sides to every story. The second story goes that while George's sister was making a batch of fried potatoes, she accidentally dropped a thinly cut piece into some boiling grease, and when Crumb noticed the fried chip, tasted it, and decided to make a big batch of the tasty little chips. And that's how the everyday potato chip was invented. We know for certain it was one of the 2 chefs who created it, but believe it or not, people from the town mostly credit his sister, Kate, with inventing the chip. It's even listed in her obituary and not in George's. Now, for all you chip eaters out there, it should feel good to know that both of them lived to a long, full life, with George passing away at 90 and Kate living to 102 years of age. You ever wondered who do we have to thank for our security systems that allow us to feel safe and secure in our homes? Mary Van Britton Brown was a nurse living in Queens, New York in a neighborhood she didn't feel the safest in. Her husband, Albert Brown, was an electronic technician and both had irregular work hours that would have one of them home alone or away a lot of times. So living in an area that was high in crime, she wanted a way to see who was on the other side of the door if an unknown visitor was knocking. In 1966, with the assistance of her husband, she invented a security system that had several peepholes, a sliding camera, some television monitors, and in order to speak to the person at the door, she added a 2-way microphone, which altogether created a system for surveillance called cctv. She started with a camera that had a mic in it and created a rig that would allow it to move between the 4 peepholes, which would then display an image to the television monitors that also had a microphone, allowing her to see and communicate with the person outside her front door. She then added the last and final touch, which was an emergency button that would send a signal to the nearest police station. Mary submitted the patent on August 1st, 1966, and officially received a patent for the invention in 1969. Her invention was also recognized in New York Times, and she received an award from the National Scientist Committee for her work. In the early 1900s, having to navigate through traffic with horse carriages, cars, bicycles, and pedestrians must have been stressful enough, but also having to deal with a traffic signal that only had stop and go must have been a headache and caused a lot of bad accidents. One day, after witnessing a really bad car accident at a Cleveland intersection, a local inventor named Garrett Morgan created a T-shaped traffic signal that had a 3rd caution light, which we now know today as the yellow light. Instead of the old traffic signals, which only allowed the traffic flow to come to a complete stop right after go, the caution signal allowed drivers to know in advance when to expect to stop at an intersection. He also created and allowed pedestrians to cross before the light would turn green to go again. On November 20th, 1923, Garrett Morgan was awarded a patent for a 3-position traffic signal. Morgan's actual traffic signal prototype is on display at the Smithsonian's America History Museum. If you like this video on 3 Black inventions, make sure you check out our other videos and subscribe for more.